ago, I was at Court Street Antiques, and it's one of my favorite stores here in the Saginaw area. Definitely my favorite antique store in the area. Not just because they've given me things from time to time, it's because they're a delight to deal with, and they're just really nice people, Jennifer and Jim. But I had spotted a stack of newspapers at the back of the store, and I mean, they were out for sale. They were from the 1960s, and that's an era that I really like to study. And asked Jennifer what she wanted for them, and she said, nope. She said, you can have them, just take them. And I couldn't believe it, because there are some papers here which would actually bring a decent price. But I want to go through and show these to you because, to me, they are great historic items. These are all Saginaw News. It's my hometown here. And this one is from July 21st, 1969. They're heading home. So the Neil Armstrong, Edwin Allen Jr., and I don't remember who the third one was, were on their way back from their historic trip to the moon. And it says up in the corner, that's one small step for man, a giant leap for mankind. And while that's the lead story in there, there are so many other stories to look at that are fascinating. But then here's another one, still photos dramatize moon story for Earthlings. And so those are really, really cool. Here he is coming down from the lander to take his first step there on the moon. And then let's see. This is the day, July 20th, 1969. New era here for mankind. And again, talking about the moon landing and the moon walk. And here's a really nice picture of the first step on the moon, and it says it's nearly here. And you know, in my childhood, that moon landing was, and in the 60s there was a lot that went on. The moon landing was one of the really significant events of my lifetime. I don't believe it was faked like a lot of people do, but it was a very historic moment. I remember my family being gathered around the television set in our home at 2933, I think it was 2933, 49th Street Drive in Bridgeport anyways. So this paper July 17th, 1969, when they were still on their way to the moon, and on the right there it gives the course that they were taking to get to the moon. It was a tumultuous decade, but there were good things like this. They're off on history's most exciting adventure, and you know, to just give these papers to me meant so much to me, means so much to me. June 9th, 1968, tragedy. Robert Kennedy, rest by martyr brother, assassinated while he was campaigning, and I still remember the scenes on black and white TV of him laying there with everybody crowded around him. June 5th, 1968, Kennedy extremely critical after hours of surgery. And this is the image I remember of him that's frozen in my mind from watching it on television. And then I January 27th, 1967. You notice the title, Saginaw News, has snow on the tops. This was one of the worst storms up till that time, snowstorms that Saginaw had experienced. Blinding snow paralyzes Saginaw and much of Midwest. And I remember that well too. And Our house, the snow was up past the wind, about halfway up the windows there in our home. Then, tragic, January 28th, 1967, silent, instantly they died. That being the investigators poked today through the charred hulk of the Apollo 1 moonship, seeking the cause of a searing flash fire that turned into a death trap for 3 of the nation's spacemen. And another one that I will never forget. November 26, 1963, Johnson plunges into new job as he takes the oath of office, replacing President Kennedy, who had been assassinated. And an iconic image here on the bottom of little John F. Kennedy Jr. saluting his dad's coffin as it passed by. And November 27th, 1963, LBJ asks end of hate and violence. President makes his first address to Congress. All significant events. Now this one, President Kennedy dies after shooting in Dallas, November 22nd, 1963. Gunmen also wound governor of Texas. And there's, again, an iconic photograph from Dallas that day when President Kennedy lost his life so early and way too early. And this one, November 23rd, 1963. I will do my best. Johnson assassination suspects divide. No, I'm sorry. I will do my best. Johnson assassination suspect defiant, and president asks help. And then November 24th, 1963, proof photos against Oswald, entire nation mourns on Monday. And truly the entire nation did mourn. It was a horrible time. And I was 63. I was born in 55, so I was, 7 years old or 8 years old? 7 years old. And anyways, I remember watching these on television, how, this casket, flag draped, laid in state at the Capitol Rotunda. Another one, November 25th, 1963, nation lays leader to rest. And the photograph is of Lee Harvey Oswald getting shot by Jack Ruby. It's a mystery that will probably never be solved in my lifetime. Who was responsible for President Kennedy's assassination? November 28th, 1963. Johnson's message applauded. So they're just historic and fascinating papers. As you know by my channel, I love history, whether it be happy or whether it be sad, and history is just fascinating. To have these papers of moments that I lived through, they're like a treasure to me. They're truly like a treasure to me. Well, about that same day, my buddy Gil came over, and he gave me this most delightful book called Edward S. Curtis, published by Barnes & Nobles. It's not real old, but it has just amazing photographs of Native American people. This is, I can't pronounce that name, but all the way through these wonderful, large photographs of Native American people and character studies that are beautiful. So, I hope you enjoyed looking at those newspapers with me. And if you are ever in Saginaw and you're looking for a place to go and shop for antiques, don't miss out on Court Street Antiques. It's large and it's filled with wonderful treasures from mid-century on back. And tell Jim and Jennifer that Dennis sent you. And anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. Love y'all much. God bless you. See you real soon. Bye.